Good morning, everyone. We got a good one today. We're going to talk about Yuri Prochazka saying, Alex, don't you do some conjuring to me. Don't you cast out no ghosts when you're fighting me. I just want you and me, mano y mano. And then we have Arman Tsarukyan. I know it's old news, but the repercussions is new news when a fan reached over and tried messing with him, attacking him at UFC 300. Well, he ended up getting fined for punching that man in the face. We're going to go over that video and more. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it, guys. Alex Pereira also responds to Prochazka's shaman claims. This is from MMA Talk. Gosh, I can't talk today. I absolutely love that channel. If I can quit burping, let me go ahead and click play.
Alex Pereira responds to Yuri Prochazka's shaman claims. During UFC 303's media day, Prochazka accused Pereira of using shamans, rituals, and spiritual forces to draw strength in his fight, and has requested Pereira to abstain so that the two can have a clear fight.
Yes, everybody knows that, and he's doing these rituals before the fight. Everybody can feel that what's around him and what's going on. So, and I think Alex can't fight without that, and that's something what he's using like normally in a fighting. And let's see. Like right now, this is my challenge to him. If we can fight a clear way in this case, yeah, to be not without like some another things, some whatever, but let higher power be there in the cage to see who's the best in the world, in the performance, in the pure performance.
Pereira responded to the unorthodox challenge, saying,
well, everybody have their own spirits. We're not only made of flesh and bone. I just found mine. If he did not found his, or if he does not believe, it's not my fault.
That's intense, guys. So obviously, if you can't tell by the cross on my neck, I am definitely a Christian. I am definitely a spiritual person. I love Jesus, but I've definitely been a high schooler, 10 plus, way more than 10 years ago, 15 years ago, experimenting with other things and getting a little spiritual as well. And so I'm not trying to laugh at it as in I don't believe it. I'm just laughing at it because it's kind of funny we're going at this. But if you don't know, guys, in Brazil, it is the indigenous culture community there. It's tied in with fighting. And in Brazil, man, they truly do believe that God or their God or whatever it is that they're taking, that they see, not Mother Gaia, but it's, golly, I don't know what their God is, but their God they truly believe is with them, or gods are with them when they're fighting, and it's in God's favor for them to fight. One thing, though, I want to say to this that probably a lot of y'all don't know, Alex Pereira is a two-time different weight division glory world champion kickboxer, okay? He's had about 12 wins, 4 losses, so that's, what is that, freaking 16 fights? Guys, I do a YouTube channel, okay? I'm not a college professor. And so he's had about 16 fights in kickboxing, as well as some other organizations as well. Also, Alex Pereira didn't start doing the rituals and calling on his indigenous ancestors, which that is the correct way in which he describes it, until he was in the UFC after a couple of fights in. I believe it was either for his Blachowicz or for his first Adesanya fight. That's when he started calling in his coach and his team's like, hey, dude, you're indigenous. They figured out he had indigenous ties to Brazil, and they said, hey, man, your bloodline is directly tied to this indigenous culture. Let's go ahead and start digging into it, calling these spirits, and he believes in it. And let me tell you what, man, when you have a God or a higher power, for mine is Jesus, and when you believe that you have a God that's with you for what you're doing 100%, it's hard to not feel invincible. But it's very different in the fight game, because I go back and forth like, hey, man, is my God even cool with me, like, wanting to go spar and beat people up, right? And, but, Alex Pereira in his head got his higher power, his gods or God, whatever. I don't know how the indigenous world works, fighting for him. But Alex Pereira has fought in so many times without doing that. The ritual thing is very, very new. Him getting in tune with his indigenous people and his heritage is very, very new, guys. So if you learned that, something new today, go ahead and give me a like. Drop a comment down below. Do you think it's weird that he's into spiritualism? Do you think that is real or not? There's no judgment here whatsoever. Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions in life. And that's why I like fighting, is because all these different people come together. But I think that was absolutely a pretty fun one. Yuri Prochazka said, hey, dude, none of that spirit stuff. I'm fast forwarding this video. And another thing that y'all probably don't know about Yuri Prochazka is he lives the actual samurai life. That's why you see him do a lot of chops and things. Oh, you can't even see the camera. You see him doing a lot of chops and things like this in practice because he practices the martial arts. Notice his hair, his ponytail, how he always keeps it and doesn't cut it because that is his spirit, his power, his strength is in his hair. And so he is spiritual himself and he really does believe on that. He's not necessarily conjuring, Alex Pereira isn't conjuring on anything, but Yuri Prochazka isn't calling on anything or believing that a higher power is guiding him and protecting him and fighting for him like Alex Pereira does, but Yuri Prochazka does believe in spirituality is what I'm trying to say. Now, I said we were going to cover more than the 2 topics. The next one will be is continuing this video. Alex Pereira defends Conor McGregor, so let's go ahead and click play on this.
Alex Pereira defends Conor McGregor against the criticism of his UFC 303 withdrawal. As we now know, McGregor will not be competing in the main event of UFC 303 due to a broken toe, more specifically, his pinky toe. Coincidentally, he was replaced by the light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, who dealt with the same injury in his last fight against Jamal Hill at UFC 300. The MMA community has called McGregor out, making the comparison with Pereira's willingness to step in and fighting with a broken toe, while McGregor would not. However, Poatan isn't taking the same stance. In a recent interview with ESPN MMA, Pereira defended McGregor, saying, "I cannot judge whether he fights or not because honestly, he's in a point in his life where he secured himself on many different financial aspects. Maybe he was fighting in a much different scenario than I'm fighting. Maybe if I was fighting in the situation where he is in life right now, I don't know if I would do it too. So I cannot judge how bad it is. It is hard to fight with a broken pinky toe. It is a risky decision, very risky decision to fight with a broken toe. I broke one before the fight, it was bad. In the fight, I broke the other one. Maybe if it was the other one, I wouldn't have been able to fight, so I cannot weigh that, but I made the right choice."
What do y'all think about that? That's pretty cool that Alex Pereira, the 2-time world champion, not only in UFC, but also in Glory Kickboxing, coming out, defending Conor McGregor. Guys, if you don't know, Chael Sonnen, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping, everyone is calling BS on his toe. They're saying, hey, you can't see his whole body in the picture. It's just a picture of a foot. Anyone could be faking it. It could even be Photoshop. It could not even be his foot, but you're not canceling the fight because of your broken toe, Conor. You've fought way more injured than that. You've never pulled out of a fight before. And as you know, if you're not a fighter, guys, every fight camp, you are injured or you are strained. Doesn't freaking matter. If you go through a fight camp where nothing hurts, no injuries happen, go buy a lottery ticket. Just go buy a lottery ticket. On the amateur side, when you're having a real fight camp, it's the exact same thing. You're still getting injured. And so it's really cool to see Alex Pereira come out and be like, yeah, dude, it sucks fighting with a broken toe. He's like, I even did it with 2 at one point. And, you know, obviously people like, John Jones, he fought twice with a broken toe. And, you know, Conor McGregor, he was saying like, hey, you know, you bums, you know, you're not using your footwork and your skills. You're not relying on that like I do. I get that too. It is kind of cool. Alex Pereira is saying, I'm going to draw on saying, hey, he's in a different financial situation. Like Alex, he's fighting. He got something to prove. He's got some money to make. He didn't make as much money from Glory Kickboxing. He's brand new to UFC. So what is he on, like a 20-20 split or 50-50 split? He's not really making a lot of money until he became the champion, right? And beat Israel Adesanya. And so he was in a different position and he's still building his financial wealth. He's still taking care of his family and setting up his life, right? And it doesn't mean the first couple $100,000 you get, you're set. The first $1 million you get, you're set. No, like you got to go. You get your money, now you got to take care of, depending on what your family situation's like, what your kids' situation's like, what your home's like. You got to get everything set up, situated, your family, your future, and all that good stuff, your retirement. Then you can start having the funny money. So Alex Pereira, kudos to you. My hat's off to you. I think he's making very smart moves financially as well, too. I haven't seen him blow all his championship money like I have other people. But, you know, with Conor McGregor, I miss him. But do I think we'll ever see him again, guys? I have no idea, guys. My last fight, I'll give you an example, was July 15th last year. I was in fight camp, right? And I show up, and it's in New Braunfels, which is over an hour out of my town. For some reason, my mom was really against me fighting, but she said, you know what? I'm showing up to this fight. I have everyone coming out to see it in New Braunfels. We have, like, you know, there's ring girls, there's vendors. I mean, it's an official amateur fight. And I get there 2 hours before my fight, guys. My opponent backs out for no other reason than he's a pussy. And I'm telling you guys, it's the worst feeling in the world. Feel like I got cheated on. I had my vasectomy scheduled for the following Friday. Because I was like, hey, I'm going to fight. I'm going to have to recover from it, and then I'm going to get a vasectomy, right? And I can't go back on this vasectomy because it's very hard to do that, and I'm ready to, do the thing you can do when your vasectomy is taken care of, and I don't want to stress about having another child. And so anyways, fight camp happens, all that. I'm ready to fight. I want to fight so bad. I go through my surgery, and as weeks of me recovering turn to months, you get out of peak fighting shape. You start making more money, and, life starts getting more comfortable, and I am in nowhere near the position of Conor McGregor, but for me right now, it's harder for me to be like, hey, the only difference between me being fight ready and not fight ready is getting up every single morning and doing the extra cardio every single day, and I'm talking, high intensity cardio, 180 to, 200 heart rate, consistently for 10 minutes a day. I'm not ready to do that, and I am less and less willing to do that as the days go on and as I get older. And imagine me, Conor McGregor. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and pan to the next one. First off, do you think Conor McGregor, is he ever going to fight again? Yes or no? Let me know. What I think he should do is bare knuckle and fight Mike Perry. Drop your comments down below if you think that's the most genius idea ever. Now, let's go over Arman Tsarukyan getting freaking suspended. Let's go ahead and get play. Do an anti-bullying video and it can go down to 6 months. Bet, man. I wish whenever I got into legal trouble, the judge was like, you know what? Anti-bullying video, probation, instead of 1 year, we'll make it 6 months. That would be awesome, guys. Arman Tsarukyan, guys, he just beat Charles Oliveira. He's probably going to be next in line to fight Islam Makhachev, guys. I can't wait for that fight. Who do you think's going to win that rematch, guys? Arman Tsarukyan gave Islam Makhachev when they first fought, and it was Tsarukyan. He was on short notice, and it was his first fight in the UFC, I believe. And they fought, and it was the most high-level grappling match. Gave Islam a run for his dollar, not on the feet, but on the ground, if you can believe it. Watch that fight if you haven't watched it. Can't wait for the rematch. Now we'll have at least 9 to 6 months, completely heal up from his last fight, rest, recover. I know he's very serious about having a full, complete, healthy fight camp, which is imperative if you're going to be fighting Islam Makhachev. With all that being said, guys, if you appreciate this video, if you learned anything from this, or you just like the fact that you don't have to watch YouTube videos and go through social media, I'm like, I have to, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe. It absolutely helps out the channel, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I love y'all. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.